Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. So I want to talk with you guys about a few things today. I'm going to be vulnerable, just share some things about my journey coming up and just how at some point in my life I was driven by what society said was beautiful, what society said was the norm. Now I just did a video and you can go check it out on the other side. It's my baby video, my baby channel that I'm working on. It's called Big Sister 824. Big Sister and the numbers 8, 2, and 4. And so I just did some things over there, but I want to come over here and talk about a few things, how the pressures of society can really cause you to just not be okay with yourself, to be okay with your body, to be okay with your build. And we've got to get past that. You know, I grew up in the 80s, and in the 80s, the light skin was in, okay? Then somewhere around the early 90s, all of a sudden, dark skin was in. And I'm a brown skin girl, honey. But I never noticed anything about myself or a difference until someone said that. Now, I grew up in a family where there's all different shades in my family, from my brothers and my mom, my dad, dad's dark, mom's light, and then we're all different shades within my brothers, between ourselves. If we all stand in the mirror and look at each other, we're all different shades of brown. Then we go further into our cousins and aunts and everyone. We're all different colors, get lighter and lighter. We have some relatives that look white. Okay, I believe we do have some white relatives in our family. They're white. They look white. Okay, or very light skinned. We have some that look like they're Chinese. And now we've moved into having Japanese blood in our family. So it's just a bunch of different things. Okay, so I've never have my brothers, or I've ever said to my brother, you're so black, you're so this. We don't talk to each other like that. We've never heard that from our parents. We've never heard that among our relatives. And we would meet and do a lot of things together. We'll take vacations together. We'd be spending weekends together. So I've never heard those things until I start to go to school. And then you're hearing you're dark. Then you're hearing you're black and ugly. Then you're hearing this. Then you're hearing light is pretty. Then all these different things. And then suddenly, oh, you're beautiful. It's the 90s. Oh, dark skin's in now. What do you mean dark skin's in? It's crazy, right? So all of a sudden, or I would get compliments. You're so pretty to be dark. Really? I'm pretty to be dark. Okay, is this a compliment? All right. And yeah, and then with my hair, I would wear my hair in a bob and stuff like that, and I believe my hair was just a lot more fuller, grew more, and they will think that I'm wearing a wig. Oh, that's your hair? Is that your hair? Because dark skinned people don't really have hair like that. Dark skinned people's hair can't bounce and shine like that, which is weird. And so there are these stereotypes, and there can be stereotypes about black hair, right? How the hair can be kinky, but that's the strongest type of hair that is. It's resistant. It is a beautiful grade of hair. And then the thing that with black hair, how it's, even though it has the kinks and the tightness, what people want to call nappy, that hair, heat, it takes a lot of heat to break it, okay? But what happens is, if you take that same kinky hair and you put heat on it, I think it has to be about 400 or so degrees. When you do that, you see that same kinky hair will straighten out to long and silky, just like a Caucasian's hair. Okay, so there is black hair is versatile. So, but then what grows up? When you grow up with the hair, people say, oh my God, your hair is like that. It's nappy. It's like tumbleweed. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's sangry. You know what I mean? So then now there's a pressure to look different. Oh, let me change this. Nappy's terrible. Afro means aggressive, or whatever it may be. So I would say for me coming up, I would say struggles was at school, kind of. I mean, not all the time, because I mean, there were so many people growing up in Brooklyn. It's like you're going to school with black, uh, not too many white people, but you were around white people. So black, white, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Italian, everybody's on the block. Everybody's there. People from the Middle East, you know what I mean? It's just everywhere. So there was no like racism like that, but at some point there was just this thing about your skin, but it was coming from other black people. Okay? And so there was this thought that I had because I am a petite person. I'm petite. Okay? I am I'm like 5'2", but according to the military, I'm 5'3", 63 inches, and I'm petite. Okay? I'm petite. When people see me, they think I'm a kid sometimes. But with that said, being petite, uh, trust me, I've gone back and forth at times with if I get lazy, I can flourish. Let's put it like that. I can flourish, okay? But overall, my build petite, okay? My mom's petite. My father, my dad could wear like really, I mean, he looks good. He wears good, nice clothes, all of that. Like, he's not fat. But my dad is going back and forth in weight as well. But that's only if we don't eat right. That can happen, okay? But we're just never, overall, I would say I am a petite person, okay? But for some reason, at some point in my life, especially when I was in the military and traveling, I ended up being in the South a lot and in like places like Georgia and stuff like that. So in these places, this is, the peach state. So the girls are built. The girls are thick. They're thick. And this is what the men are looking for. They're looking for the apple bottoms, all of that. And I'm a petite girl. Okay? The Lord has blessed me with some stuff, with some things. But I felt I needed more. So I would go out there, something came on my girl, go on and get you some booty pads. So I would get my little booty pads. And at some point I used to be making my own little booty pads. And then I was like, oh, I need to be more evened out in skin tone. Okay, so because I'm dark skinned, but then I'm just not a person. I don't like wearing shorts and stuff all the time. I grew up in Brooklyn. I just don't recall us just really wearing a bunch of shorts all the time growing up, and I didn't. So, my legs were lighter than my face, and I thought, oh, I need to go. So now I need to go get something to rub on my legs to give me my brown color. Okay, and I'm making sure that I don't brush up on anything with my brown color so I can be all brown. Instead of just going out there in some shorts, getting my legs tan, going out to the pool. There were so many little hang-ups and things growing up that I had. And I just felt like, okay, I need to have the booty in this outfit. So let me go out and go buy one. Let me go out and buy the booty pads that got the silicone in it. Let me go out and get what I need to enhance whatever I need to enhance. You know what I'm saying? And that's just way too much work. It was just way too much work. And you don't want to keep that illusion. Now, as far as my hair, I never had any problems with my hair too much because my hair did grow. But at one point, I started getting into the weaves. Like, okay, let me put on this weave. And I was doing that. I was putting the weave in, gluing the tracks in. And then what happened? When you start gluing it in, because literally what you do is the hair comes with, it's a hair, but it has this little part on it that's like, I don't know what do you call that part. But this part is where you can put the glue on, then you part your hair, then you lay that thing down, that part that you glued onto your scalp, use a little heater and dry it so it can sit. Then you can blend your own hair in. But my hair did not like the glue. So my natural hair that was already healthy started to get thin because I'm messing with that. Okay? But I started getting the long silky yaki. That was the brand I would get. Oh, let me get a 1B silky yaki, buying by the packs. I want a 12 inch. Yeah, I want 12 inch. So I will have all that blending it in with my hair. And truth be told, I look like a little black Indian Native American, okay, or what we call in the Jamaica coolie. But it wasn't mine, okay? It was my hair. And I did give y'all a video about how one time I lied about my hair. This guy was just so into my hair. I didn't date him, but he will see me. And then one day, you have to see it. It's called Ponytails. Go watch it. I can't do all that right here. Ponytails. If I remember, I will link it below in the comments. Ponytails. He found out the truth. Okay, because the pony came right off the tail of my little tiny ponytail but anywho. But what I'm saying, guys, is I was following what the world said was beautiful. And so I'm telling you, when you put on some booty pads and you put on those type of things, you just get hot. It can shift, it can slide. Different things can happen. And what you're knowing is that you're trying to follow what the world says is beautiful when you're already beautiful. God made us all different shapes and sizes. You go to different countries, women that's considered voluptuous, I guess that's good. I believe that's appreciated in most places, but there's some places they like women who are big women. That's considered beautiful. Women who has more meat on their bones, not skinny women. And then there's some places like, even though I'm petite, I will be considered fat. You go to, I lived in Korea before, and I would be considered big. Because they're super, super tiny. Those girls, those women are so petite. The men are petite as well. I'm sure they have Koreans that have different sizes now. They're not all skinny, but the standard of beauty is very different. Fair skin, slim, glowing skin. Even the men, some of them, not all, but Korean men, they wear makeup. They do a skin routine. They be glowing. Okay? So there will be a different standard for that. And other places in Africa, the standard for beauty is very different. It's about the amount of beatings and things that you have, and beatings in your hair, and even sometimes a plate in your mouth is beautiful. I go somewhere, I think I'll be all that, and they're like, ooh, where is the plate from if in your mouth? So God has created us different, and we need to learn to accept each other, accept ourselves and each other, and stop following this beauty. That the standard, that's nothing more than something to just keep you in a vice. Stop hating your skin. Oh, you're dark, so you want to be tan, so you go out there and you buy something and put it on your face so you can look different. You don't like your hair, you don't invest in your hair. There's a lot of women, they wear wigs, weaves, things like that. I'm not against anybody wearing that. People wear it for different reasons, even to include medical reasons, or whatever it may be. They just like the versatility. That's fine. But then there are those who they need it because they have neglected their hair so much. They don't even take care of their hair at all. They don't have any interest in learning their textures, what needs to be done, or how their hair, what makes their hair grow. They don't care about that. They put the weave on, and so your hair is not getting any sunshine. Your hair is always underneath something, and of course it begins to break. It's not healthy because it's not out. It's not getting air. It's not getting sunshine. It's not getting a break. It's always covered up. So if it's always covered up, it's not going to grow. So let's say you're always wearing, now they've come out with the Chu Man Fu karate movie hair, the lace front, because that's the hair that they used to be wearing in the karate movies me and my brothers used to watch every Saturday morning growing up in Brooklyn. 3 p.m. karate movies are on. But those guys will come, they have those long ponytails, and I used to remember seeing the front of their hair used to look so strange because that's where they glued it at. But they have the hair, the lace front, so it's so easy. You can't tell if it's real or not. The only thing that gives it away is that they're pulling down those baby hairs in the front, and sometimes it begins to wrinkle at the front. But other than that, you can't tell. And they're coming up with more and more creations. So, okay, now the person becomes attached to this look and they hate themselves. And so imagine now this man comes and he falls in love with your hair. He falls in love with your weave. He falls in love with your lace front. He falls in love with the skin tone that you have put on. Your dark skin, but you put on a lighter shade of makeup, or your lighter skin, but you want to be brown honey kiss, so you put on a darker shade, which is that's be hard to do. So it's normally that they put on a lighter shade, and there's just layers and layers of it. If you ever watch the makeup tutorial, I've watched just like, oh my gosh, that is way too much work. There are layers, 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 and then there are all these things, and so all of a sudden this person will look completely different. Their natural face is nothing like the final face. And so imagine a man falls in love with you because he's attracted to your curly, wavy hair or whatever it may be. He falls in love with your face, what you put on. He's fallen in love with your body that you have created through augmentations or through additives. And now you're doing things to manipulate your body. You're wrapping your waist with maybe saran wrap. Maybe you have on Spanx 5.0. There's nothing wrong with wearing Spanx. Sometimes you just need that to just boom real quick. But what happens when you're living a lie and he believes this is what you look like and he wants to have a relationship with you, but now he's never going to see you with your face washed. You never want him to see you without your hair. You have to always wear your butt pads, right? And he doesn't know that you're wearing butt pads. He thinks that you're a butt. So what happens when he marries you and now he has the authority to touch your butt? He's going to know that there's a difference. It's going to feel like a stuffed animal. What happens when he's your husband now? He goes to pop it and it sounds like this. Or it sounds like this. We're going to have a problem, right? And what are you going to be saying to him? You should love me for me. You should love me for me. I thought you should love me for me. But you didn't love you for you. You understand what I'm saying? So I will say, set yourself free. That's something that I did. I was like, I don't want this booty pad on me no more. My butt is enough. My bottom is enough. My body is enough. If my leg is lighter than my face, then I need to just go to the pool and lay out there and get tanned up. And other ways, I gotta realize, listen, sometimes you're just gonna not be all the way everywhere. It's not gonna be the same tone. Don't be obsessed with that, because what happens is you're following a narrative. You're following what society says. And I can tell you there's just a freedom in being yourself. Yes, somebody may say, oh, you're so skinty. You're so small. You're so petite. I'm who I am. It is not a diagnosis. You have not been diagnosed with a sickness. You have to get in a point to appreciate yourself. And let me tell you one of the problems with me being petite. When I used to buy jeans and stuff like that, I used to be buying like certain jeans and certain clothing that did not fit my body right. So when you're petite, you can't wear big old jeans. I'm not saying it has to be tight, but they're jeans that will fit and accent your body. There's clothing, tops that would fit your body. It's not to accentuate it to make you sexy, but for your build, this top, this outfit will look right. It's just like certain people of a certain size, they will want to wear clothes that's smaller. Okay, you got in it, but what is the end result? It does not necessarily look good. But we're in a society where it's like, oh, well, it is what it is. Okay. Learn your body. Ask God to help you to pick out things that looks good on you. And you will find for your build, for your frame, clothing that looks good, and you're not under pressure to try to add something to make it look right. Because we're in a society now where everyone's butt is out. People have to have their butt out. People feel like I have to wear a short shirt with some lycra pants and my butt needs to be out. How about a top that's cute with a nice jeans or a nice skirt, whatever, but you have a top where it's cute, it's flowy. Nobody needs to see what contours and curves you have, or the back of the shirt is long. No one has to see your booty. No one has to see that you have a strong camel toe. No one needs to know and see that you have a little mole by your cleavage. We're more exposed as women than men are, because there's a narrative that tells us this is how we're supposed to look, to the point that if you were a young girl, you would have been mortified at the idea of even just your shirt being low. You'd be so conscious of that. But then as you get further into society, and you follow the narrative and you look at the magazines and you follow what your culture and society says is supposed to be cute and sexy, and then there's other people walking around, and you see the reaction of the guys, so you want to follow that, and so now you follow it. You feel a little weird at first, but after a while, just like with anything, you get used to it and you think it's okay, and you start going further and further out and doing all these different things. I challenge anyone to embrace yourself, to look at your hair, to learn its textures. Even if you like to wear wigs, your hair needs sunshine. Your hair needs a break. What about your real face? Do you like your real face? Some people won't invest in, okay, you have blotches on your face. There's things that you can do to make your skin get healthy again. I know for a fact shea butter in its most natural form, like the African shea butter, you can just use a little of that, put it on your face every day, use the disciplines and do it. And your body will do what it needs to do. Some things I understand won't change, especially if you have deep scarring and things like that. But what I look at is there are people who have greater challenges than just superficial desires, and they still go out there. I see women who has had cancer, and they wear wigs, but they just get tired of it and they just have their hair out, and so they can still alternate between just their wig and just having their hair very short or bald. And I've always felt such a respect for them, because it takes courage to do that. What you will realize, not only is it society's narrative that drives you, but also the narrative in your own mind. Perhaps things that people in your family have told you. Perhaps the traumas of being hurt, being maybe someone else who looked a certain way was picked over you. And you always felt inferior. So then now you have some money, you begin to try to dress up what's really a void inside, what's really the voice inside, how you see yourself. The way you see yourself, your mind will tell you you're ugly and you're not attractive, and you'll always be comparing yourself to somebody else. And then you just have some people, no matter what, they really can't meet that standard, so they go get their education and their lessons and they get some power, but they're bitter, and then they attack other women that's beautiful. They just become villains in their life in their own way. They just hate themselves and just jealous and bitter. I've seen women like this. Women that's just mean-spirited. They just have this permanent stain. It's this expression. It's not even a stain. It's just something, a darkness that's there, a bitterness. And you could be nice to them. You try to give them a compliment. They're beyond compliments. They're nasty. They hate things about you. They sabotage you. If you're pretty and you're going to be working in their section, they just automatically target you. It's very ugly. But that's something that's going on inside. So, hunty, I went and retired the butt pads and had my own and my own assets going on. And it was such a freedom. It felt so good. I don't have to have that. I don't have to have a big booty Judy. I don't have to be, no, you can't set a cup on my butt. That ain't going to happen. But I'm happy with myself. And I'm not just telling myself that. I take care of myself. I do what I can do. I pamper myself when I have the opportunity to go. Schedule a massage day. You do that, and you take care of your hair, and you take care of your skin, and you take care of your teeth, and you exercise and you walk. Guys, you don't have to be doing major exercise, lifting weight and grunting and sweating and doing all of that. You can dance. Do you like dancing? Then put on some Zumba or something. Dance for 20 minutes, 7 minutes. They have 7-minute exercises. As long as you do 7 minutes, then you build to 10 minutes. You do little things, 5 minutes. Do what you can. Walk in place, walking briskly around the apartment. A good pace. Walk around your house. Walk in your neighborhood. Your body will follow. Take care of your skin. Drink some water. Drink water. Water is your best friend. And embrace your complexion. Embrace your skin. Embrace your hair. Love yourself. Because when you start to love yourself, there's something that's going to change within, that's going to show up on the outside. I've met people through the military who had scars on their face or lost part of their face or part of their head due to combat and things of that nature. And when you see them, you first see like, oh my gosh, this is what has happened to them. But as you work with these individuals and as you're around them more and more and more, and you get to know that person, what's inside shines through, that you don't even notice the scar as much anymore. I don't know if anybody can relate, but I've seen that where, man, I'm not even seeing this person's scar or anything. And because of their personality and how they are and their light that's inside of them, who they are, it just shines through that you just don't see it. Obviously, there's some things that no matter how much they're talking, you notice that. But there's just something about not a person that's pretending to be confident, but someone who's truly like, I love myself. I'm going to learn what pieces work for me. I'm going to let go of what society says is beautiful for me. And it may be uncomfortable, but when you do that, when you begin to really accept yourself and love yourself, it's going to come on the outside. So that now it's not going to be so hard for you to get yourself together and to look nice, because you don't have this brooding darkness and bad mindset about yourself. So yes, I got rid of all that leg makeup and butt pads and all of those things that I felt I needed to do to be evened out. I stopped wearing, I took out all those little things out my hair because my own hair did not like it. And I focused on my hair. I'm not saying wigs don't come in convenient, but they're not convenient. There are times like if I just need to run out and I don't want to mess with my hair, and sometimes I'm putting my own hair in a sabbatical. That means I put some twisties in it or whatever, and I want to leave my hair alone, especially at the point my hair was just breaking and shedding. It needed to be left alone. Treat it and leave it. Let it rest. So at times like that, there's nothing wrong with going to get a cute wig. That I would try to get something that's as close to my hair as possible. You get a cute wig, you do that, run out real quick. Sometimes you have a run out real quick wig. Okay, I'm just going to run out to the store. I don't want to mess with my hair. I don't want to put any heat in it. That's okay. Okay, but being dependent on it, completely dependent on wigs and completely dependent on makeup and completely dependent on augmentation and trying to keep yourself looking a certain way. There's a lot of people that as they're aging, they're so afraid of aging. So they're putting Botox and they're putting all these things, and it really, in my opinion, ruins them. Because yes, you are getting old, but you would have aged beautifully. Versus when you try to stop it, you start looking different. And so you can't stop aging no matter what. So your natural aging process along with the additives that you put in your face does not make a good combination. So just like oil and water, it begins to separate. And you see it. It does not look right. And so you will find the person will age in a way, and they look a way that's so different from how they would have just aged naturally. Age is going to happen. I have a gray streak in my hair. I got another patch in the back that's gray. And I used to be panicking, and I used to dye that. When I was younger, I would dye it. Now, I'll tell you, my hair has never been black. I thought my hair was black. My hair has just always been a dark brown. It looks black, but when I'm in the sun, it's brown. Very brown. Okay, so I got it. It started looking like a sandy brown, dark sandish brown color. And then over time, I started to get grays, and I was like, oh no, let me get the dye. So I go, and when I go to the beauty shop, my beautician will put a rinse in. I was rocking the really short cuts back then. But then in 2 days, I'll see the gray roots. So it was just this battle. And then after a while, I wouldn't dye it. I would just get a rinse. After a while, I was like, you know what? This gray is happening. And as my hair grew longer, my streak got longer. So I left it alone. And I embraced it. I don't want to keep putting dye and stuff like that, because then your gray can turn yellow, and now it looks different than the pure white that it is. So embrace it. Take care of your body, do what you can, but realize you are going to get old. And you will age nicely if you take care of your body better than if you're drinking, you're smoking, you're drinking more soda than water, you're doing all these different things, you're not eating properly. Your body is going to react to that. A lot of the ways that people age and how they put on weight and all of that stuff, that has nothing to do with old age, but choices. So it's never too late to still do what you can. Okay? So guys, yes. I have shared some things with you guys, and I feel it's important to share it because there are people who are still stuck. And you need to know that when you stop trying to follow everybody else's beliefs and what society says is beautiful, when you stop trying to look like the girl in the window in the poster and in the magazine, when you stop realizing that, and just, you don't have to look like this, you don't have to keep this particular look, you don't have to have this specific weight, and just enjoy yourself and take care of your body, take care of yourself, you're going to be happier. And when you're happier, it's going to come out from the inside out. Your body's going to glow. You're going to see a difference in how you think and how you interact with people, because a person that thinks that they're unattractive, they're very uncomfortable to be around. A person that's always comparing themselves to other people, they are unhappy, because they will be happy until somebody else comes in the room that looks pretty. Then they're just watching them and looking at them and jealous, and they're just having a worse time and think, oh, everybody's going to talk to her because she looks prettier. And then they can't enjoy themselves. And then they will continue to find themselves going around superficial people who only focus on that. A lot of times the struggle is the company that you're keeping, because they're saying this is pretty. And unfortunately, sometimes it could be your own family. Your own family could be telling you you're ugly. Your own family could be telling you you're too dark. Or why are you so light? Oh, you must be adopted. Or why is this? Why don't you look like this? Why don't you have a butt like me? Why do you have so much butt? Why do you look like this? Why are you so skinny? Why are you so tall? Why is your head so big? Why are your feet so small? Why are your fingers so long? When you have these when your own family's doing that, that's very hard. And that can be a struggle. And maybe right now you're in a place where you feel like this is the only way you can survive with the wigs and the augmentations and the makeup. I'm not going to knock you for it. But what I will say is, know yourself. Get to know yourself. And pray that you reach this place in your life that you can rise above that. Not listen to what they have said. Not watering the seeds of rejection and hurt and pain and ridicule that they've put in you. because you want somebody who's going to love you for you, who's going to accept you for you, flaws and all. Flaws and all. Because there is somebody out there that's going to love you for you, that's just going to think you're so beautiful. But if you don't believe it, you're not going to be able to accept this man's love. He'll be telling you you're beautiful. You go, no, I got this going on. And you keep that. You'd be doing that all the time. And he will find it hard to love you. You won't be able to reciprocate because you hate yourself. So he's always having to tell you, just propping you up. Oh, you are beautiful. No, you do look good. No. Oh, your hair does look good. No, I do love you. No, that's too hard. You see what I mean? And you don't want to kill the love someone has for you. And sometimes they may love you, but they realize they have to retreat, and you don't want that. So love yourself. So I hope this encourages someone. And if you have questions, you can email me. My email link is found in my email is found in my about link on my channel, or you can comment below. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and bye.